How you doing, Internet? I'm Bnuts, and today I'm going to go through some tips in Star Trek Online to help you along. This is because once you exit the tutorial, you'll encounter some situations that aren't so straightforward. So as you can see here, I have my level 65 science officer, Starfleet officer, and she is a Vulcan. And all of these modules and stuff out. I have Zephyr Cochrane's shotgun for its physical damage, and I have upgraded it. And the Furidon Fangs also came from the same source. It's from Grimm at Drozana Station, one of the Phoenix Prize Pack tokens that you can get from him. This is from one of the events, but first of all, you have to go through some other stuff here to get you more base, so to give you a basis. So level 65 is the top level that you can get, and every 10 levels or so, you will get a token for a new ship, which you can get for free from the shipyard. So you can play the game without paying anything for a ship, although you will get better ships, for example, from the exchange or from events. So you have the 5 kit modules that you can carry. You've got a kit frame, some body armor, and that's for everything. Shields, 2 weapons that you can have and switch with Z key, and 4 devices. I have the frequency remodulator for when I go up against Borg and when they adapt. You can use that every few seconds. Flashlight just in case, a tribble. And then you have all these for your ship that you have. This is from the breast cancer campaign, the Shran or Maggie, and so you have 4 weapons, a deflector, impulse, warp, shields, aft weapons. Experimental weapons are on some but not all ships. You have 2 devices, your engineering, console science, and tactical. So what you want to do, depending on what job you pick, you have your weapons, and I have Polaran weapons because those are supposed to disable, and I'm a science, so I have good skills for that. And then the deflector contributes to that. I think it's control, not exotic particle, and control or drain, but it will say on the weapons what it is. Usually it will say what damage it is, and then this is for resistance, and then these ones enhance my Polaron. So you want your ships to be using the same kinds of energy weapons, otherwise you're splitting the buffs that come from these. And these can buff drain or exotics. And you have a small ship, which occasionally you might use. I also use them to store things that I'm not using currently. And then your bridge officers here. I have a few extra slots as well. And you can set up skills both for yourself here, and then these are the basic ones. You get the same amount of skill points, and you can see that I've distributed them that way, but I'll probably retrain. And then you can pick 2 specializations, and then your special points go in specialization points. You can pretty much fill them all, I think. And I've got all of those. Yikes, have I still got enough for all of that? Let's quickly see. Try purchasing all of them and see what happens. Even though I'll probably go and reconfigure for drain. I still have 9 points left. So usually these specialization points will have one side focus on ground and one side focus on space. But those are all space skills. How many do I have left? 4? And I'm going to be spending all day on this. Okay, that's all of them. So again, space skills, ground skills. And then you have traits. So you have a specific number of slots that you can use, and then you can assign them simply by clicking on the box there. And you can see which ones are active, which ones are not here. So that's ground, space. And then these are unlocked when you unlock your Starship Mastery, which is this thing down here. And then these reputation things come from these here. This used to be where you would get your events, but now they've moved it. See, it says it's retired, so you won't get anything. If you had old characters here before they moved it, they will automatically complete. But you can basically go into your reputation and spend in order to get up, and then claim tiers here. And then you'll use that to get gear, such as these, but I want to get up to the highest, so you can see that these have 6 tiers. This one I think I'm at 2, almost at 3, so I would go like this. Select it. So it takes energy credits, expertise, which you get from missions, and marks, which you also get from missions. So I just picked the first 2. And then I go all the way down the list. I want to do that right now. And then go in and open these. Mostly because I usually end up just selling them up back because they're bound to the character. So they're not always that useful, but I can go in and see. See, I already have this one right here. And this one is also, oh, that's engineering. For power transfer, but I think I have one up top already. Or in my inventory for turn rate. And if you want to discard something, just go to click replicator as I did, click recycle. So you don't need to look for a vendor to get rid of that. So you can go all the way down, these will complete. So I was at traits, I don't have any here. Active reputation abilities rather than passive, I guess. So the next one you want to do is your stations. your ship will have a specific number of stations for your bridge officers or buffs. And all my bridge officers are listed here. They're not all at stations, and then you have the away team here. So these ones are universal, although there are some which are not, such as this one. This is tactical. These are all universal, but you'll also get science and engineering stations. And by clicking on here, and then here, you can change the skills once you've taught them to your officers. And then also you can have additional bridge officers here, which you can commission if you have space. If you wanted to, you could turn them into manuals or dismiss them. But what I would prefer to do is get the slots from the Zen shop and then commission them, because then they add something to your crew. Down here in the away team, so I like to have something for shields, something for hull, and then here you almost definitely need hazard emitters, because that will clear debuffs. And then science team for heals. And then the other stuff is pretty much whatever you want to throw in. So these are tactical buffs for yourself and your team. Then in the away team I have half healer, half hitter. And I can also change that if I wanted to. Engineers are good for putting down turrets and rechargers and health rechargers. I don't generally do tactical on the away team because the AI's targeting is a little bit strange. So that's, I believe, all in the character currently. Of course, you will have to go in here sometimes to give your crew different things or promote them. Generally, I don't like to use discharge, even though you can get better buffs in. Again, they all contribute something to your crew. So I was talking about on the exchange. I will just, because you can go to your mail at any time, but you can't get the item out unless you go to the mail terminal. And then you can go take item, delete the mail that was on once there aren't any items left. I'm also using my mail to store extra stuff. So I want to take that up, make sure the cursor is on, highlight that. Make sure the quality is matched. And the block, which is Control D on here, so it's the first one. So I want to undersell it slightly, so I will do 74.90. And there you have all my lists. Right now I have 17. You can do up to 40 at once. And you can list them for whatever you want because there's no fee for it. And then it'll expire in something like a week. So it's there until you want, until it expires, and then you can get it from the mail just like I did. I would recommend that you consider selling it through the replicator thing like I did before, if it doesn't sell after 3 times, because that way it's taken care of. What did I mistype? Need any? Okay, so this is how you can get ships. So you want to get the purple ones, and I can recommend, for example, the Hirgan Hunter Heavy Escort. It's slow moving, but it turns okay. The Andai Nikor warship It's fast, but it's not as tanky. I haven't tried the decor yet. And it goes up. Most of the ones you will find will probably be blue. Right now, though, this has proven me a liar. So you'll find stuff like this as well. And go up and up. And right now, I'm not finding very many of the Voth carrier. That is slow moving and slow to turn, but it does carry some fighters on it. And it's big, because the Voth like their everything big. So you can always tell what it is by that color on it. It's very rare. Some of them can only be used by certain factions. So if it's grayed out, that means that it costs too much for you to be able to afford. What to find one of the Voths for me? You can see though that there have some listings that are quite expensive. I suppose this would be useful if you wanted to transfer some of your energy credit from one character to another. There's the Voth Bastion Flight Deck Carrier. So that is a purple. Not much that's actually all that special that I know of. But the Voth is big and heavy. Tholian Orb Weaver ship. I don't really like the Tholian ships, but that's mostly because of when I go up against them, rather than when I would use them, because I haven't had the opportunity. And another thing that might be useful would be the fleet module, if you can get it. Although you'll more be able to find it here. Fleet ship module. So that you can turn any T6 ship that you have, or use it for getting a fleet ship out of it at a discount, as long as your fleet has the right stuff. So that's pretty expensive. So in this store, the things that I would definitely recommend that you get, which I also have, so in the items, sponsor services, you could get account shared bank, which will let you give things to your other characters. The energy credit cap, because that will increase your cap from 15 million to 2 billion, and to help you get more expensive items. So you already have enough character slots to do one of every faction and then some. But if you make more characters than that, you can always buy more slots. And there's one that's 4, there's one that's 2. Bridge officer slots, like I said, useful if you want to give yourself a boost in your ship. And a whole bunch of stuff here. However, they all cost Zen. Now, in order to get Zen, you need to get dilithium and refine it, and then put it into the exchange. You can only refine 8,000 dilithium per day, which I've done, and press the exchange. set your rate, which should be somewhere around here, a bit lower perhaps, as I've done here, and then set how many dilithium you want to sell here, and then click Submit Offer to Buy. It's also a good way of transferring your refined dilithium to a single character, so you can set them all for a bit higher. So you set it up for a low rate, which no one would buy, probably, such as 80 per. So say you wanted to do that, you do that, and then it'll appear here. Then you go to the character you want to have all the dilithium to do the sale, and then you put it, select cancel order, it will go here, and then you click withdraw and withdraw all. And it will be on that character, and then you can, once you've collected all the dilithium you want to sell, put it on sale again there. So you do have quite a few currencies here. EC is what you use as you're buying stuff, standard stuff, and also from the exchange. You'll have marks which you use on the reputation, as you saw, except for fleet marks which you use in the fleet shops. You can exchange fleet marks for fleet credits in your fleet stuff. In Gold Press Latin, you can exchange in the Ferengi shops. And in salvage, you use mostly for upgrades. So when you upgrade an item, you'll want to go to your R&D tab, unequip the item that you want to upgrade. So for example, I might do that. And because I probably don't have a ground weapon thing. And gear, oh, I kind of do, but that's basic. So you would do like that, fill this bar all the way up, and then do apply upgrade. And it's always a good idea to do that during the upgrade weekends, that way you have a bit of a discount on that. And so in your fleet, this is your fleet, you can go to your holdings, because one of the major things you'll want to do, or have to do, is contribute to the projects. So you'll want to check out which ones need doing and how you can contribute. Dilithium, of course, is the most precious resource here. And you can go through them all as long as you're a member, but you won't be able to start these unless you are unless you're higher ranked. And then according to your contribution, you will be able to gain more access to things in the bank or ships. For example, for mine, you need to be lieutenant commander or higher in order to get the fleet module discount. And so your fleets will also be connected to other projects, and then you can try to contribute to them as well. So sometimes you can find some stuff to help you along, which is good because not all of them will have what you will want to contribute. This is where you'll have everything in your missions. If there's an event going on, it will appear here now. So as I was saying before, it used to be in the reputations, now it's not, and now it has a daily progress. So with this one, once I had the reward, which is here, you could go up level by level until you get the 25,000, So now each day I can give one of my characters 25,000 unrefined dilithium and have them refine the full 8,000. That will be useful shortly because the winter one is coming. Second chance. Oh, that's for completion and reclaim. So if you've been doing the events, you can go here to get the items that are from here. I think since this is here and I picked it up from Grimm's shop, that if you get things from there, it will be added here for reclaim or claim. So all the ships that I've done are from the T'Pau and up. The space equipment, just these two, ground, and these three. Miscellaneous, the Kobayashi Maru transponder from the Kobayashi Maru weapons. So I think this enables you to be able to discard things and then get them back if you wanted to. Though I haven't checked it myself. You can go here to episodes to see things that you've done and things that are next, so that if you want, you can play them in order. You don't have to. And you can replay the missions, of course, that are there. So I am currently on the Delta Quadrant episode list. So I would go to taking care of enemies for my next mission. These are all the missions that are available at the same time. If you want to earn EC quickly, one of the best ways to do that is with Tour the Galaxy, which will give you 25,000 EC per system that you visit. You just fly around to each. And the other way, of course, is to sell things, as I have listed there. And if you want to change which one is primary, you can go here. This has a list of your accolades and which ones you have left, and in your logs what you've been doing recently. This buffs panel, so you are in charge of your own ship, and then at level 63 or so you also become an admiral, so you're in charge of your own fleet effectively. So that's when you get the Admiralty system, and you can choose which ones to send your ships out to. I will complete these ones, which are done, to empty out, to make the slots available again. And that also lets me plan them. Let's see what ships I have left. So these ones with the X are single use. I'm trying to save them for later. I need something with big psi, which I don't really have at the moment. I do have some things, but not a lot right now. This one kind of does. Oh. That's the one, by the way, I got with my free T6 coupon. Let's see. I still need lots of psi for that. 18, 29, I can do better than that. 24. 22. This is also something that I got from Grimm. I'm going to use this one. Then I need 16 psi. Now I'll just use my Hero Hunter. Oops, that's too short. use that one, and then begin assignment. I do still have some slots open. I don't know if I have enough here. So with these, you have the experience bar, and you also have the Tour of Duty rewards. The United Federation ones will give you a specialization point. That's not all that different because you'll get it. You will get those as you level and as you do missions. And this will give you 30,000 dilithium. This will give you a universal upgrade, and you can use it on any of your tech, and again, dilithium. So obviously, I want to work towards the dilithium, but I don't have very many of these left. Oh. 30? I'll just go to the bottom and do my other big one. There we go. 10, 10, 10. I like that. Just making sure I didn't... You can see what's next. Oh. That's going to be quite impossible without using one of my one-time use guys. So I'll just leave them off, I think. I don't want to use these right now. So these are the ones that are still going in. You can see the duration. The research things, you want to be using these as soon as possible. They do use resources which you harvest. So what you want to do is go to the bottom, do the research project on the technology for each of these, and the amount that you can do all at once depends on both your open slots and your duty officers, your DOFs. Obviously I don't have I have one open slot, but I don't have the DOF to do that. And you're seeing harvest materials here as one of my endeavors. There's 1 universal and 3 personal. I did the universal a while ago. I haven't been doing these, but they do reward you some stuff as you go. Over duty officers. Oh, that failed. What I usually do is I usually go to personal first. Could probably do that. And 7% failure will probably go through. Text is in the way. These help your ship, so that's why I like to do them. But I go through the ones that can give you 50 dilithium first. Then go to each of your departments. There's one, but I don't have the personnel for it. And the success rate is 31. I usually go for, failure rate. I usually go for failure rate 10% or lower. Because even though that should still be a pass, it often fails. And there are ones that you can only access through the current map. I don't like the chances of no officer there. Again, 10% or less is what I would try to go for. And you can assign different officers to be the heads or whatever. And I'm not sure how that affects things, but I'm sure it does somehow. Your roster of duty officers, so you can change which ones are on the active space, active ground. You have a maximum of 20 in your brig, Passengers, I've never seen go to the maximum. And of course you could get more slots, I suppose, to put more officers on there. And I should show you around Earth Space Dock. Each of the factions have these central areas. So for the Federation and Starfleet aligned, which you can choose from Romulan and Jem'Hadar in the Dominion, it's Earth Space Dock. For Klingons, it is... So I'm here right now with the Exchange, and there are signs all over the place. So that's Exchange, bank you saw before there. I mean mail. And this is your bank. So this is personal bank. There I have a fleet module ready to go. Your account bank, where you can transfer stuff over as well. And your fleet bank. This is all shared stuff. And in order to see whether or not you have permission to take stuff out, you can go here and it will tell you. So Anzen can deposit, and there are daily limits. And was there another one? So I will show you now where some stuff is on ESD. So down here is the ship area. So if you do the Elite or Advanced space missions, you can repair your ships here for free, rather than using the regenerator items. Over here you can customize your ship, and then you can 3D print it. Usually this one right now that's not highlighted, but usually you can 3D print it through their partner. So different options for the parts listed below. Is this what I have really? I thought it was different. Well, and you can change things up here. Usually they have more different sections here. You can choose between the styles. Over here, this is where you pick up ships. So every 10 levels you can come here and get a starship. They're all arranged by rank. So as you go up, you can get more ships. So the ones that are below, they cost EC or dilithium normally, but they'll give you a token every 10, so that's what you do. And then the tier 6 ones cost Zen. And as you can see, they have different bridge ring officer stations, as I hinted before, the consoles, and stats here, including the base turn and hull, all very important things. The purple ranked ones that I showed you before on the Exchange, they're tier 5, and tier 5 upgradable. Whoops, I did a Kirk roll. And then you have all of your ships arranged here, and then also dry dock. So this is the tier 6 POW. This is tier 5 not upgradable. Prometheus. This is tier 5 upgradable, and I've upgraded it and gotten mastery. Tier 6 with mastery unlock, final mastery. Let's see. Tier 5 upgraded. This is just a normal tier 5. And it can be upgradable, but it needs the upgrade token to do it. The purple ones you can upgrade for free, which is why I got them. And then you can put different stuff in here. I use some of the ships for storage, and also I'm trying to build them with different weapons. So as you saw before, my main ship will always have Poron. This has Tetrion. I think this is Plasma here. Phasers right now they're holding, but that's default. This is my anti-proton ship. This is the one I have currently. I think this is mixed, but it also has phaser. Anyway, you get the idea for there. You have a limited amount of slots, and free slots are down here. So you can free up those by shifting things over to your dry dock. But you should also be able to, if you get something from the Zen store, you should be able to get rid of that and then get it back from the Zen store again. What else? Of course, the club is over there. Infirmary, if you need to heal up, is there. Transporter, which allows you to go down to Starfleet, is up. The Starfleet Academy is there. If you need to do something in one of the shops, you have a tailor here. And you go in and you can change what you're wearing and what your crew's wearing. So I have 3 slots and I've arranged these for Talil. And then the bridge officers, and you can also rearrange what they're wearing or even what they look like by modifying them. Except for him, you can't modify. So if you need to visit one of the shops, you can do it like here. And if you need to sell, you can sell through that. We do have some limited supplies that you can buy there if you need to. So if you're stuck on a certain mission because you and your crew don't have powerful enough equipment, you can buy them there. So to get to some other stuff you might need, you need to go around that way. And Admiral Quinn is there, and he's here too.
Greetings, how can I assist you?
So he'll give you stuff if you have a Gamma Recruit. And we need to go here and open it. And it doesn't really matter which one I do there. That's only 10. And a whole bunch of good resources. So down here is where you get the skills for your trainers, or rather for your bridge officers. Oops, bridge officers. So this will show what they can learn if they have the manual, and then it's by rank. So as you go up, these are higher ranks. So what you want to do is find out which ones that they can learn. Then you go into here. Well, this is engineering space. So you would match that to the one that you want to get, buy it, and then click Learn here. And then you can change which one they're using over on the station screen. Of course, you can only use one at a time, so it's a good idea to see which one you need. And of course, they all cost expertise to do. It's a good idea to have the ones you want so that you can operate properly. And the other guy who's very important is this guy, the security officer. So you can turn over your contraband 5 at once to him. I've got 1. And then prisoners and defeated changelings to get more dilithium for yourself. So for your other characters, well, on Kronos, for City, there are signs all over the place, but you'll find the security officer there in the Great Hall near the entrance, and the exchange which you'll need is, I think, in the northern part of it. So I've got mail, something sold for 3,990, that's moderate. And I can delete that when it's done. And complete that. And let's transfer prisoners. So I'll do it again since I have so many prisoners. And I even have some in my inventory. So if I go to roster, I have 17 left. So if I go here, I got something here. Research pool. So I should be able to get 3 into my brig without going into my overflow bag, which will stay with you a good while, but it's a good idea to have that like that. And of course, once you're learning skills and everything, you'll want to be able to slot them. So this will allow you to change how many rows are in your quick bar very quickly. This is just for that because I have special armor on. This one. It has its own skill. But to slot abilities, you want to uncheck that and then go through here and click and drag to whichever slot you want to put it in and then lock it up again. And you do the same thing again in space. Alright, so let's just go into space very quickly so you can see. And there are loading screens, unfortunately, between everything. If it takes a long time, it might disconnect you from the server. You can just reconnect. So here you can see I have different skills. Click on there so you can see everything there. So those are all my buff skills that are there. If I want to change them, the skills that are loaded, I would have to go to their stations actually to do it. And you can see that's available, but it takes time after you change it. So this is your energy setting and balance, which you can change here. Your shields and health. This is your speed. And this is a fun little ship because if you double tap a direction key or click here, it can go like this and evade. And then that recharges. So again, here are all the available skills, including the ones that are here and up here. And you can slot down into there and then lock into place. And of course, this will give you options. So in this space, you can go up and down slightly, although your maneuvering will be somewhat restricted near the star bases and such. When you're doing missions, you'll be able to move much faster, but you still won't be able to pull off any sort of loops. Ooh. Someone has a herald ship. And a Kelvin. Someone's a collector. Iconians also like things big. So this is one type of space that you have. Whoops. I didn't mean to click on that. And you can also buy ships that are owned by your allies. So some Romulans ships are available to Starfleet and captains as well. So you can depart system that way, or jump through transwarp once you have it. I will go warp to sector to show you how you travel between systems. In space, you have a limited amount of up and down, but you do have some. Of course, if you're traveling at warp or transwarp, this thing with or quantum slipstream, your turn rate is a lot slower. As in any other space, you can press M to bring up your map, zoom in, zoom out. You can click on anything to set a course for it. Or you can bring up the system list and search. This is the entire galaxy. Of course, it would be scaled down. An area map that you saw before. The ones that have your primary systems on it will be highlighted. Who's beeping me? Oh, it's the Azura from before. Now, as you can see, there's a deep space encounter there. If you do those, once you gain access to them, you can level up that way. You can level up by doing the stories. You can level up by doing the duty officer missions. You have ground missions, you have space missions, so you have a variety of ways that you can go through and level up. And the game does want you to level up quickly, so it makes it really easy to do that. And you have the task force operations. So you have all these you can queue up or do random, and it will match you with a team here for 5. There are some for 10. Now there are also patrols, which are usually single player, and PvP as well, although it's not very popular, so as you can see, no people are queued for these currently. And then you can set up private ones if you wanted to, but most often you just queue for these. And these are the ones that are featured. For example, this one is the current event. If you want to do the Kobayashi Maru test, this one isn't the event mission, so the Maru will only stay until it's destroyed. In the event version, you could do it until, I think, round 6. And then there are different different filters for that. I will show you how to do the Tour of the Galaxy thing, at least as far as I can see. And I will then end it there because this will have gone for an hour, but that's most of the basics for just traveling around. You can zoom out. So I wanted to get close to the Orion system before starting that. So the way I will, and the SS break even is Quark ship. So go to available. Also, asteroid mining is good for getting dilithium, as long as you have one of these suits, an environmental suit. You can do it, and you could even get one with a little bit, about 800 dilithium from the mining shop. So you would hail and then do, because you can get to places with transwarp by a little icon. That's over here. Not currently in any of my missions, but that gets you there faster. So tour the galaxy daily, hail him, accept, and then close this. And you will see here that it shows explored there, gain that, and that. I'm not sure I could turn fast enough if I did the, and you have the list there too. Omega. Nope. I don't think that's part of that mission. It's not. It's for a patrol. Okay, let's do quantum slipstream. Do this a little bit faster, because you have a limited amount of time to visit as many ones as you can. And this will get me here a bit faster. Should wear it soon, right? It did. And then I can go to Rosanna. And you can harvest things from things like that unknown comet. Yeah, let's do that. It's best to stop. So this will pop it, and you have to match this and use the arrow keys. Why didn't that give that to me? Oh well. It should have given me this. Harvest crafting materials from nodes while in space. No, I still don't know why it didn't give it to me. So in this one, if you complete rows or columns, it will give you bonuses as well. Let's shrink this so it's out of the way of those pop-ups. What I want to do is set myself up maybe on this side. No, not that one. I want Chronos. Or something that I do. A very minor turn. I just undid my auto so that when I cross Chronos, that was something else that happened. So you can see I have a row. And you can see other people flying around too. They can't attack you or anything like that. Can I get anything from here? For now, I think. That's too high. Too high. 10. I can do that. Okay. I have it up again, but... Wait, was Senec part of it? No, I didn't do Nakara. Oh well. Let's go up there. That's something. Yan Nebula. Kill him right next. Let's see. Where am I? I'm over here. There's a whole bunch here. And I have how much longer? 6 minutes. The right system. Something else. Let's go to VRNet. I think that's one of them. So if you do if you make a Romulan captain, you start on VRNet. Another. Where? No. The new Romulus next. Might have been. Let's just find out. Won't take us long. No. Oh, there's an abandoned ship here. Was? Where'd it go? It's taking me further off course. Okay. See, it can't turn. I don't know where it went. Two minutes. So I'm not fast enough to do the entire beta quadrant, but I can do the whole gamma quadrant if I want to. That wasn't one of them. In order to get the Sally ride on your Admiralty thing, you need to go and talk to it. So it's just over there by Miranda. In case you wanted to know. That might be a node. I was talking about. And I don't have much more to go. And once again, that's the wrong one. Oh, I had to move a little bit more. One close enough to do? No, I don't think so. Another one of these? Oh, that's not very helpful, is it? Oh, once it's complete, that will either pop or you can click there. And that is done. Let's see what these are. The reputation that I set before. So now I can go claim tier 3 for that. Slot the marks. And now will have access to bigger things from there. Over here, I don't have any new mail. And of these I can claim. So I've covered all of the good basics, except for this. So that's transwarp, and you will have, or be able to get, these different waypoints and fleet places once you are in a fleet. One of the most important things will be your central base, and you can go to it with the click of your mouse. Now this you saw before, and you can dock like this. And that will take you right back to ESD. Oh, and the other thing that I should cover is, so if you have the fleets and as well as the armada, you'll want to be able to set that up as your channel. But there's also this. So if you have something like there are dance competitions, you won't want to go through all of that every single time. So you can pin that, and then you can click on them as you need them. Alright. Pretty sure that's Chigasa's dance from Lucky Star. Let's see. Some advanced is one that I got from that. From the dance contest on Ryza during the summer. And then this one came from one of the Halloween events. Alright, so that covers most basics, I believe. So, hope that helps you, grounds you a bit in how to set yourself up for the world of Star Trek Online. And as I said, there will be more in a later video. So I hope you find this useful, And if you decide to join in STO, it is almost 10 years old now. So it's a game that will be around for a good while, even if some of the shops and stuff are a bit pricey at times. So thank you all for joining me and watching, and you can leave a like, comment below, subscribe, and ring that bell, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.